Hello everyone and welcome back to the Bantamweight Boxing YouTube channel with me, your host, Michael Waite. Yes, I know, 2 videos in one day. Christmas has come early. For me, Christmas did come early last night. Plenty of big fights on. I watched the Cordina fight live, then woke up this morning and watched the Tank Garcia fight, which is the one I'm going to cover now. But if you did watch the Cordina fight, go and check out my other video. That should be up now as well. Little plug in to start the video. Got to do the self-promotion. Anyway, let's get into this fight. So hyped up as probably the biggest fight of the year. I think there's no questions there. 2 massive names, 2 undefeated fighters, and you know, we were lucky to get to see it last night. I'm sure they both made a lot of money, made a lot of people quite happy. I didn't put any money on it, but if you watched my prediction video, you could have made a bit of money yourself as well, because I predicted Tank to knock him out late on in the fight. I know a few other people did. I'm not Houdini there, but yeah, it was I will take credit for that. I did call it, but let's break down the fight. Well, you know, I think when I was doing my prediction video, the one thing I was talking about in Garcia's favor, I was saying is, for him, he needs to start quickly, come out. The speed is going to take time for Gervonta to adapt to. It does for any fighter, especially when Ryan Garcia is probably the fastest fighter in boxing right now, could I say, but one of them. And we saw that in the first round. Garcia came out flying, nothing really landing clean, but just outworked Gervonta Davis. But we kind of expected that, because Davis is usually a slower fighter. People say slower fighter, but he's not a slower fighter to start. I think he more is calculated, likes to take his time and figure out his opponent. And my God, did he do that in 1 round. And it took Gervonta 1 round to kind of work out what the weakness he was going to attack was. And it was clear that Gervonta trained to counter that lead left hook of Ryan Garcia, one of his best shots, which was smart from his team. So we go into the second round. I think Garcia is feeling pretty confident, comes out, starts throwing punches and bunches, and this is one of the weaknesses I said actually of Garcia, is he's got great hand speed and you know, a good fast jab and a good left hook, but sometimes he's just a bit too keen or a bit too focused on himself, throwing these crazy punches, leaving his chin up in the air and not concentrating on what could be coming back at him. So he's throwing these combinations, and Tank lands what is a beautiful counter left hook. He slips under the left hand of Garcia, tags him right on the button. It's not the most brutal of shots, but it's a clean shot, and one that Ryan had no idea was going to hit him. Floors Ryan like that. Boom. From Ryan, it was good in a sense that he got back up quite quickly. Was obviously quite a flash knockdown, but he had tasted the power of Tank. Now, Tank's output continued to be on the kind of low side, but he was landing the devastating shots. And after that kind of knockdown, Ryan did not want to throw that left hook again, and you really took away one of his strongest assets there, and he had felt the power. So he was rocked, came back still quite strong, but obviously a lot more tentative to throw, which is never a position you want to be in, especially you know, against a devastating puncher like Gervonta Davis. But yeah, he was definitely tentative to throw. The rounds went on, again, quite low output from really both of them. I think that's going to happen in a fight of this kind of magnitude. I think people are always kind of a bit disappointed about when they watch these big fights, because they're like, oh, there's a lot of hugging and there's a lot of that. But there's a lot on the line. You know, they're not going to come out swinging like you might see in other fights, because the whole world is watching. And it's, you know, they're going to take their time. But it was a bit... yeah, it was a bit on the slow side at times, but I think after the 3rd round, for me, it was quite clear that Tank was just a level above Ryan Garcia, to be honest. He was countering him quite easily. Again, not overthrowing, but the things he were messing up there. The things he was throwing were landing, and were hurting Garcia for sure. I think it was the 6th round where or fifth or sixth round where Ryan Garcia started to use the straight right, and I think he was advised by his trainer in the corner to do that. He was saying, you need to throw that right hand, and actually did have a bit of success. He then landed a good right hand on Gervonta. I think it was in was it the fifth round or the sixth round? I can't remember the one he actually got knocked out in. I think it was the seventh round. But he threw a good right hand in the round before he got knocked out, which stung Gervonta Davis. He took a bit of a back step, but he was able to recover from it. And you thought, okay, this could be, a little bit more of a, rally from Ryan Garcia. But it was the next round, again, after a kind of engagement with Tank. Tank slips low, little cheeky shot to the body, not a lot of power on it, but it was a delayed reaction, drops Ryan Garcia, and he takes the count but doesn't get up. We've seen that delayed reaction with body shots before. They're some of the most painful shots I've heard. I've never taken one myself, but I've heard that they are some of the worst shots you can take in boxing. So I understand why he didn't get up. People have speculated, could he have got up? We'll never know. You're never going to be in the mind of Ryan Garcia. Was there an element of quitting in that? I think quitting is way too harsh to say, but could he have carried on? Probably. Did he really want to? 100% probably not. He knew he was probably being outclassed in that fight there. Already been knocked down once, and it was probably going one way, and he saved his dignity in a sense, and kind of got out of there. But fair play to Ryan Garcia. He did his best, but I think he was just in the ring there with someone who not only was technically probably a better fighter than him, but also mentally, just Gervonta Davis's IQ is just levels above Ryan Garcia's. The way, and people don't like to see it, but the way Gervonta was able to tie up in times he needed to, the way he was able to figure out and counter Ryan Garcia so quickly, the adaptations that Gervonta made in that fight showed was mirrored that of a young Floyd Mayweather as well. The way he could calculate the shots that were causing him most problems and use them against Ryan Garcia was very impressive. And I definitely believe the hype about Gervonta Davis, and I think he could go on and do some real damage at even at 140, I think. Very exciting for career for him. Ryan Garcia, props to him, took the fight, both for them, for their biggest fight so far, and it didn't work out for him, but there's still going to be plenty of fights there. I'm sure he made a ton of money, and also as well, big props to him in a sense of he went out with his head held high, didn't make any excuses after the fight, came across very humble, and I like that. That gives you more fans, so props to both of them, put on a really good show, and excited to see who they both fight next. What did you guys think of the fight? Did it live up to the hype? Let me know in the comments, and do like and subscribe. Thanks for listening. Bye.